So some of you men need to understand when you can and can't raise your motherfucking voice. So let me demonstrate. If this is you, you better lower your motherfucking tone when you talking to me. And this, you're pushing it. At this length, you should be able to ask for a sandwich, but you still need to say please. From this length on growing, you won't even have to raise your damn voice to me. You don't even have to use a tone with me. Your breakfast will already be ready for you in the bed. Your damn lunch will already be packed and ready for you to go to work. And by the time you get home, you will have dinner with me in lingerie. Try me if you want to. Check, please. I'm done.
Yeah, okay, I understand that her delivery was extremely trashy, but I do not want you to think that this woman is some kind of exception. It is a well-documented phenomenon that women will treat men differently based on whether or not they find him attractive.
I feel bad for men. I do too, because it's only, like, things that men do are only creepy if you don't like the man. If you like the man, he can pretty much do anything. So it's really hard to be like, hey, this is something you shouldn't do as a man. Because if I like you, it's going to be okay.
There are no creepy behaviors. There are only ugly men. That short, bald dude staring at you from across the room, what a loser. But that tall, handsome dude who's staring at you, oh my God. I can't believe he's looking at me. There are no creepy behaviors. Only ugly men. Do you remember this guy? He was arrested after a series of shootings and robberies, and his mugshot, which you can see here, was posted online. So how did the women of the world respond to this violent criminal? His mugshot has since received more than 13,700 likes and 3,200 comments, and has been shared more than 300 times on the Stockton Police Department's Facebook page. OMGGG, super delicious, commented Ajutha Lambertina. Another commenter, Michelle Asher Morales, asked, can we be handcuffed together? Lordy. Amanda Sullivan also left a comment saying the mugshot was the most attractive looking mugshot I've ever seen. If you are a good looking man, women will let you get away with almost anything. But in all likelihood, you watching this video, you're probably never going to know what that's like. Because like me, you're probably just an average looking dude. And unfortunately, according to women, an average looking man is actually ugly. Look at this graph. Look at this. The perception of male attractiveness versus female attractiveness. You can see here in the gray, this is how men rate female attractiveness. And it's a pretty normal distribution. It's a typical bell curve. It peaks at the middle, which makes sense. Most people are average. And then it peters out on the ends at the extremes because there's very few women that are exceedingly beautiful and very few that are extremely ugly. But then look at the red. This is the attractiveness of men as rated by women. But you look at it and it makes no sense. Only 20% of men are considered average looking. The perception of men is heavily weighted towards being ugly. There's no dancing around this. I'm not going to make my language flowery. I'm going to tell you straight. You're a big boy. You can handle the truth. Women, even straight women, are not attracted to the male body. That attraction that you as a man have for the female body, that desire that you feel for the female form, women don't have that. Like if he's extremely chiseled and muscly, like if he's exceptional, then maybe there's some attraction. But as a general rule, women do not find the male form innately attractive. I know that's going to piss off a lot of men hearing that. Sorry, the truth hurts. You've got to face facts, and these are facts. There is science to back this up. Clinical psychologist Meredith Shivers did extensive research on what men and women find attractive. Let's get into this research. Starting with men, what did they find desirable? Well, it's exactly what you would expect from a straight guy. Reading from a New York Times article that summarized her research, men on average responded genitally to what Shivers terms category-specific ways. Males who identified themselves as straight swelled while gazing at heterosexual or lesbian sex, and while watching the masturbating and exercising women. They were mostly unmoved when the screen displayed only men. Makes sense, right? Straight men like women. They get turned on when they're looking at women. And you might think that it's going to be the same in reverse. Nope. All was different with the women, no matter what their self-proclaimed sexual orientation. They showed, on the whole, strong and swift genital arousal when the screen offered men with men, women with women, and women with men. They responded objectively much more to the exercising woman than to the strolling man, and their blood flow rose quickly and markedly. You understand? Straight women who are supposedly attracted to men are equally aroused when looking at scenes that feature just women. In fact, they showed a greater sexual response watching footage of a woman exercising than of a man strolling. I'm sorry, but unless he is exceptionally well built, women are not attracted to the male form. But then how does physical desire actually work in heterosexual couples? I'm gonna let this woman explain.
Sure, I'd love to explain. In general, women don't really see men as like a fixed number on a scale. We pretty quickly divide you into 3 different looks categories. On one end of the spectrum is male model. I know all my friends are going to think he's hot. This is rare to see in real life. It's usually celebrities. Then there's absolutely not, which is different for all women. My friend would never date a skinny guy under any circumstances, but I really like skinny guys. But the vast majority of men fall into the other category, which ranges from meh to kind of cute. And as we get to know you, there are tons of factors that literally change your physical appearance to us. Everything from the way your voice sounds to how you smell to how funny you are. And that can nosedive you down into absolutely not, or bring you up to I want him status, which is so much hotter than even the male model category.
I hope that you understand the implications of what she's saying. What makes a man attractive, what makes his physical form desirable, is his personality. There are some men who are so hot that they don't need a personality, and there are some men who are so objectively ugly that even the best personality in the world won't save them. But for most guys who are in that middle range, whether or not she finds you attractive is going to depend on how well she responds to your personality. Women are not attracted to the male physical form. It's just neutral. They feel nothing. But if she likes you, she feels your masculinity, your confidence, and all the other non-material stuff, then she will imbue your physical body with all of those traits, and then she will be attracted. And while it's nice to know that some attraction is still possible if the circumstances are right, for a lot of men that is a small consolation prize. They are devastated to find out that they drew the short straw. They were born into the gender that is not considered attractive. And that sucks. They wanted the feeling of being desirable, of a woman craving their physical form. There's a sadness, a grief that comes from finally understanding that that's not going to occur. I've spoken to lots of men about this in my private consultations and in my hero circles, and I found that the sentiment that I've heard from men is well summarized by this article from the Good Men Project. The title was "The Male Body, Repulsive or Beautiful," in case you want to look it up. But reading from the article, so many straight men have no experience of being wanted. So many straight men have no experience of sensing a gaze of outright longing. Even many men who are wise in the world and in relationships, who know that their wives or girlfriends love them, do not know what it is to be admired for their bodies and their looks. They may know what it is to be relied upon, they may know what it is to bring another to ecstasy with their touch, but they don't know what it is to be found not only aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but worthy of longing. For some of you guys who have craved that feeling of being desired for your body, this video might be the first time ever you've heard somebody speak to that desire inside yourself. And how fucking crazy is that? For so long, conversations about body image were monopolized by women, as though body insecurity is an exclusively female issue. But I know that there are thousands of you guys out there who are deeply sad that women don't crave your physical bodies. You feel ugly, you feel unattractive, and you wish you had the experience of being physically desired. And you might find it interesting to note that women have their own issue, but it's the exact opposite problem. See, if men are desired for what is inside but not what's on the outside, women are often desired for their bodies, but their internal personality is completely ignored. I'm not a woman, so I can only imagine how uncomfortable it would be to be intimate with a man where he was worshipping my physical form, but he had no understanding or even curiosity about my inner world. It sounds fucking awful, and my point is that both genders have their own unique burdens to shoulder. But let's be real, we're pretty familiar with the female gripe. It's drilled into men every single day. Don't judge a woman on her looks. A woman is so much more than just her body. Yeah, we know. We hear it all the time. But there is complete and utter radio silence on the male experience. How awful it is to be judged only for what's inside you and never have appreciation for your physical form. Especially when so many men have that deep longing, craving for someone to find their physical body attractive. To feel like their body was beautiful, was desirable to somebody. And it's sad to say, I'm sorry, but I don't think that that's likely to happen. I don't think that's an experience you're gonna get. So what options do men have? Where are you gonna go from here? That's what I want to spend the rest of this video talking about. I understand that this video has been quite pessimistic so far. I've outlined the problem and I probably spoke directly to what bothers you, but what is the solution? What can you do about it? Well, that requires quite a lot of depth and nuance to be able to answer that question, and I do it justice in the rest of this video, which is available to watch right now on Patreon.